Yo, Hightower from Queens, New York. From Queens come Kings. This is Seymour Better from freeprescriptionlenses.com, and today I'm going to cut Transitions XTRAactive lenses with Crizal Sapphire for one of my nicest frames. This is the Versace. It is the 4275 color GB1, which is the classic black and gold in the 58 eye size. So let me begin. I'm going to take everything out of the box that it comes in. Of course, you got your Versace cleaning cloth, junk mail in every possible language, and then of course your COA, the card of authenticity, where you can register your product, the international warranty. It's got your serial number on there. All of that comes with it. And of course your Italian leather Versace case, and inside, the star of the show, the main attraction, is the 4275 color GB1 with the Medusa on each side. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy, because all Versace's are made in Italy. It's got the giant Medusa on there. How can anyone not love this pair? And as you've heard me say many times, some of the coolest pair of sunglasses make the nicest pair of everyday glasses, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and pop out your original demo lenses. Put those in there. And I'm going to take your frame and put it into the tracing element of my blocker. Now, we're at a milestone here. You're at number 500. Hightower, you were Secret Agent 500. Now, I'm going to enter this into the computer. It's going to be scanned. If the paper clip's not in the way, let me move that. There we go. Now, these are non-prescription lenses. Classic case where someone has either some health insurance or unused flex dollars, and they want to get something nice even though they're 20/20. I'm cutting non-prescription Transitions XTRAactive gray with Crizal Sapphire for the Versace frame. But years from now, should you ever need a prescription in these, you are saved as number 500, and I can mail you just the lenses to your home. So let me go ahead and hit start. A little stylus is going to go around. It's going to pop up and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Versace frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number on there, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. And of course, these are non-prescription lenses, so cash in on those flex dollars. Move on to the next screen here. I'll go ahead and take that out. That is no longer needed. That is the shape of the lens we will be cutting, only magnify that green outline. I'm going to magnify it while I work on it. Of course, I love how they put right and left on here, even though these are non-prescription. I want to check one thing, make sure the lens is large enough and it's centered. We're looking good. Now, this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach these to your lens while it is cutting, so I need two double-sided adhesive stickers. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this one onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now on the back is a silver button. That's going to do its job twice today. The first time, that magnet is going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Place that there. Make sure everything is lined up perfectly. We are good. Now if these were prescription, I would take it, put 3 dots for my lensometer, make sure it's lined up in there perfectly. But being non-prescription, it really does not matter. So I'm going to hit this button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto, that Crizal Sapphire is so smooth, so slick. Didn't want to do it. Let's go back over here to the right and let's try this again. Hit the button. Go back up with it. There we go. Now it's stuck on there. Let's do the same thing for the left. Now again, if these were prescription, I would enter the pupillary distance and the optical center height. I don't have to worry about that now. I just want to make sure that everything is large enough to fit. We are good to go. Hit that button. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I forgot to put the sticker on the left side. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Pull up the shape again. Go back over to the left lens. Put the magnet in there. Line it up. Make sure everything is large enough to fit. Hit start. And now that is stuck onto the left lens. We're going to come down here. This is the actual edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own Versace lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore to mess up and do it for you. So let's go ahead and pull up the shape we'll be cutting. Yeah, it's telling me that only one lens had been blocked. That's because I redid it. That is the shape. Now these are polycarbonate lenses. They were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex. I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of your lenses because it's not going to be seen anyway. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put one on the rear concave surface of the lens. Now the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far left. It's going to act like a heavy grit. This sandpaper, this is a diamond crusted wheel. It's going to grind away the lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Let me go ahead and wake up the... Oh, I did it already. I need some coffee. Okay, no bevel. There we go, polycarbonate. So now the magnet is going to do its job a second time today. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. Hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's tracing out the shape of the lens it's going to be cutting. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you will have none in this frame, with it being non-prescription. And the thickness of this frame, it's going to hide any edge thickness whatsoever, even for fairly strong prescriptions. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, however water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris. You may begin seeing the form on the edge of the lenses. So your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses made out of the same material that our soldiers wear in combat zones. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours in the middle of summer when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Queens, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, if you notice your lens is completely flat like a nickel, if I were to take it out, I would stand up on the counter on its edge. It's now going to drop down onto the bevel wheel and get the V-shaped bevel. Now you have the, I'll demonstrate the transitions later, but you also have the Crizal Sapphire anti-glare, which is 3 features in one. It reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. The second feature, it's an anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections. When someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens, you'll see just your eyes. Now the third feature, okay, you see water spraying onto the lens now. It tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. In just a moment, a little lever is going to come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That's what's going to apply the safety bevel to the rear concave surface of the lens. So as I press it into the lens, I do not want any rough or sharp edges to come in contact with your frame. So in just a moment, I will open the door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just got to stare at it for a couple hours. Okay, so let's go ahead and dry everything off. Let's see if it fits into the frame. Make sure there's no optical sawdust anywhere on the edge of the lens. Let's see if it fits first time around. If not, I'll take it down a little more. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Push down at the nose, it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Okay, so we can grab the left lens, flip this over to L, press that on there firmly, place the lens into the chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckster, the Chuckarama. Let's see, and hit go. Just like before, the door is going to close, the clamp is going to shut, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, just like first time around. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the lens as it's going around doing the left. And just like before, it's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you got none. You hear that, Hightower? You got nothing. No edge thickness whatsoever. So while the left is cutting, I can go ahead and start working on the right. Take that block off, dry that off, add the sticker to my collection there. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It takes a while. You know, the other nice thing is all the rubber bands I get that come with the lenses wrapped up, and saving those and making a ball out of that, so you can watch as this grows too. Let me set that down over there. Now, if these were prescription, I would come over here and read the prescription off in my lensometer. Of course, you got to turn it on. But these are non-prescription. I am getting 0, plano. There is no power in this lens whatsoever. These are strictly non-prescription fashion lenses. So, but as I was mentioning about the anti-glare, the third feature, it's a reduces glare when driving at night and then reduces reflections. But the third feature is that the machine that applies the Crizal Sapphire, well, most anti-glares cost well over $1 million and takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto the lens. So because of the time and the expense that it takes, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. Now, having said that, you've got the newest top-of-the-line Crizal Sapphire. That is the premium coating, and now it does have a little bit of a coating on there to help that block that I just took off stick to the lens while it is cutting. This is going to clean up almost clear. Now, Crizal Sapphire is so new, there's only a few machines that can actually apply it. Well, let me take that back. There's only a few labs that have the equipment that can apply it. So because of that, I'm asking everyone to give me up to 2 weeks. Normally it takes me 2 to 3 days to ship any custom made lens, which this is. Crizal Sapphire, I'm allowing up to 2 weeks. Now, I'm getting stuff back quicker. Now, having said that, everyone just heard me say that, and they're thinking, okay, it's only going to take me a few days, but watch, there will be one that does take a true 2 weeks, and then you'll be angry with me. I'd rather you be pleasantly surprised if I can ship quickly than it ends up actually does taking 2 weeks, because I can't control that. It's in an outside lab. But there's all different layers of Crizal coating, Crizal Easy, and of course, the longest time, Crizal Alizé and Crizal Avancé, which was advertised as the clearest. And then came Crizal Prevencia, which has the blue blocking ability. And then the Crizal Sapphire, which too does block some of the blue light, not as much as Crizal Prevencia. Of course, the transitions block about 30% of the harmful blue light, and you got the Crizal Sapphire on top of that, blocking even more. So, a lot of studies now on that harmful blue light. You see a lot of that being marketed on television. I don't know enough about it. I'm just a lens guy. I just cut lenses for a living. So, I'm going to go ahead and tuck the lens in at the outside corner first using my thumbs. Press down, it snaps in. Look at that, the block's already coming off because of the hydrophobic coating on the Crizal Sapphire, which is nice because if it's ever raining, the water beads right off the lens. This is the nicest of all the Crizal coating. So again, let's come down here, check the power, and I'm getting 0. Just a, come on flashlight, don't die on me. You were doing that the other day. Here we go. 0, no power, which makes it easy. So let me go ahead and dry these off for you. Let me see if I can clean this off a little better too. Get that coating off the lens. Now, when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I am no exception. I'm part of that 80%. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first. But if these are off kilter at all, just stop by your local place and just tell them if they're too loose or too tight. 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them, but I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. Let me move that out of the way for a second. Set this down on the counter. well, let's start this way, and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Versace 3199 in color. Whoa, what color is it? I can't see with my glasses off. But it's the blue tortoise. We got the navy blue with the tortoise on the bottom. Goes with my blue and brown. The blue and the brown gots to be matching. I do have these on the website should anyone want these. This has the Versace plate, not the Medusa, but it says Giovanni Versace on there. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Flip these over, press down. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly. And they do, and neither one is askew like that. I want them overlapping. Same amount of tension on each hinge. Now, this is what they look like clear. Now, also, I send out instructions not only how to care for your frame and lenses, so those too will last you for years, but I send out instructions on how to care for your cleaning cloth and your case, so it too for last year. Your Versace one, you're going to be getting Crizal cloth as well, and my premium microfiber cleaning cloth that everyone tells me they like the best out of all of them, which is fine. I also send out a selfie request to have your picture on the website, Hightower. You know you got to send me your selfie rocking these things. But nonetheless, this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, meaning I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of UV light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. This is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day one, giving them 2 weeks exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they reach their final exposure. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. Now, having said that, these are Transitions XTRAactive. The Signature 7 will not darken in a car. These will get 30 to 50% dark behind the windshield. Now, Signature 7 are also temperature sensitive, meaning they won't get as dark when it's 85 and below as they will when it's, they'll get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. That's because when it's nearly 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, your lenses are miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Except, having said that, the Transitions XTRAactive are designed for people who are outdoors a lot, especially in hot weather. So these do get darker than the regular Transitions, as you can see. But of course, this is the first time they've been darkened. Come on, Hightower, we talked about this. Don't you remember? They're going to keep getting darker and darker every day for the first couple weeks. Now, that is what they look like the first time they've been activated. They will continue to get darker for the first 2 weeks. Now, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel and you can see more glasses being made. Or you can subscribe or follow me on Instagram or Facebook as freeprescriptionlenses.com. You can follow me on Twitter as freerxlenses. If anyone has any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Or you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Or simply click the contact me button on the website. But if you leave a question or comment down below, then other people will be able to read and learn from your inquisitive nature. So Hightower in Queens, New York. From Queens come kings. But I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut non-prescription Transitions XTRAactive lenses, gray lenses with Crizal Sapphire for your Versace 4275 color GB1 in the 58 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.